the academics, people organized, Baba Bishop Lady Bolu, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for inviting me. A lot of people ask KBC and in the media as well, why KBC puts a white lady as the cultural ambassador that not even good Yoruba cannot speak good Yoruba. I just would like to be answered because this question comes every time. Really, I don't speak Yoruba, and it was not my intention to be the cultural ambassador for KBC. In 2011, when I came to Oyo, I wanted to see KBC, and I went to Shango Police that I wish to see the Alaafin of Oyo, and they said they cannot bring me there. They bring me to Basoron and to Bishop Ladi Bolu, and both of them brought me to KBC. My message to KBC was what Professor Okundira was talking. Please preserve your heritage. Please preserve the historical sites. Please, you are losing your heritage. That was my talking to KBC. And in 2012, KBC appointed me as the cultural ambassador. I didn't ask him for that. And until today, it's going to be now 10 years, I'm trying to be his cultural ambassador. So, when people are worried about my Yoruba, the Yoruba should be worried about their own Yoruba, about their children and their grandchildren. Because I gave my big donation to Yoruba language, my son, Tiago. He is a pride for the children and for the youth to speak Yoruba. So, my work with KBC, actually, when he appointed me, he said to me, what I want you to do is to recognize, to identify the historical sites, the ancient festivals, and the traditional worshippers, because I want to preserve the traditional religion, because they carry the knowledge. And we need to encourage them for them to pass the knowledge for their own children. So that has been all these 10 years my journey. And he was very, very concerned about Shango, because there is not Alaafin without Oso and without Shango. And like one of the professors that I thought I don't remember his name, it's really needed to do research on it. Because an Alaafin, to become the Alaafin, he needs to go to Oso, and he needs to receive the crown of Shango and the staff of Shango. And when he joined his ancestors, he is the Shango worshippers that we do the burial and the traditional rites to put him down. So there is no Alaafin without Shango, there is no Shango without Alaafin. They are together. And that was his concern. The first concern, to preserve Shango Festival, to preserve Oso, to preserve Bara, to preserve the heritage of Shango. But during these 10 years, I always talk to Kababa, and we carry all the traditional worshippers, and like he used to say, the micro-religions that Esimbile or Esiabalaye, the traditional religion, carries along. So, I did together with UNESCO and KBC, because nothing could be done without the permission of KBC, to enlist in the UNESCO about 6 elements. One has entered, and we are waiting, like Baba Bishop Ladi has said, we are waiting for this year for the nomination in UNESCO for World Shango Festival, which we are very happy. There's another one, I'm not going to talk all of them, but there's another one that is inside, it was inside the heart of KBC. Because KBC said, the Oyos, Ifa arrived into Oyo Empire, first in the 16th century. I could not believe, how come, Baba? Because anything Baba teach you, he always gives you a document or he sends you for research to the compounds. Because if you didn't have a paper, he will say the history and the origin of that compound will tell you the truth. So Kabesi said, my forefathers in the 16th century, Alaafin is the one that has accepted the divination of Ifa into the Oyo Empire. Because we, the Oyos, we used to have another divinations. Obi divination, Orobo, and Idasa. I said, Baba, what is that, Idasa? He said, you want to know? I never read that one, Idasa. Go to the compounds and do research. So I went to 16 compounds in Oyo, starting by Ondasa, Osidasa, Otundasa, until 16, and I went to do the research. So true is not in the book, but is in Oyo town, in the compounds. After, KBC called the Minister from Culture, Lai Mohammed, and said, if Ifa is a master of knowledge, Idasa is a master of knowledge too. It needs to be preserved. And the Honorable Minister sent in 2019, at the end of the year, a team from the Department of Culture from UNESCO from Abuja to do the work for Idasa to become part of UNESCO. So we are waiting that after the nomination of Shango, that Idasa will enter as well and is going to be nominated as IFA. So one of the takeaways that I would take to the academics and to Professor Toyin Falola is that please introduce as well Idasa Erindirugun into the studies of the Yoruba, because Baba loved it and he wanted to preserve it. Another work that we did in 2015, because KBC education was very important for KBC. So in 2015, KBC wrote one letter to the state government to say all the children, they need to go to the school. And the Shango children, they used to play to the hair, and then they didn't go to the school. So KBC wrote a letter to the government under the Convention from United Nations in 1966, the Article 13, which says every human being has the right to go to the school and preserve their own culture. So, I was the one who did the work. I went to the government. The government never answered KBC till today. But KBC said, in my hometown, the children are going to the school. I went to all the public schools with the document, and today there's no Shango child that is not going to the school in Oyo with plated heads. Then there's another concern for KBC, which was to recognize and identify the shrines, the really ancient shrines that the forefathers used to worship. Because his concern was, if a shrine belongs to 419 or is a really shrine. So we identified 21 shrines in Oyo, and we were able to restore with maths, not losing the aesthetic of the shrine, and to register by the state government 14 shrines, which today they are monuments that foreigners come to do tourism, to look the way people worship, and to see the arts of building with mud. So it's another achievement from KBC during the 10 years of work together with him. Another concern from him was that how to uplift the traditional worshippers. It was a big concern. So he decided himself to Abuja to register an organization for traditional worshippers where he would sign as the president to uplift them, to give them courage for them to pass from generation to generation their heritage. And we have done it, and we are working, and more and more the traditional worshippers are respected. There's nothing that KBC did in Oyo concerning to religion that Muslim, Christian, and traditional worshippers, they will pray together. That was a sign of peace and unity in Oyo. In 2014, we organized a trip. There's the Minister of Culture from Brazil as a 5 KBC with an entourage of 25 Shango worshippers. Because in Brazil, they have one stone called Shango stone. And they wanted that KBC plead to the Brazilian government for Shango stone to become heritage. KBC has done it, and it has become heritage and preserved in Brazil. Last year, 2 years ago, KBC and the university, one university in Salvador, Bahia, UFBA, together with Ajayi Crowder, and one university in Lagos, the name I think is
Akoka, Unilag.
He did an agreement, and this agreement is an academic, academic and cultural cooperation with these 3 universities for what? To recognize all the material and immaterial heritage in Oyo town, to do a process for UNESCO that Oyo becomes World Heritage. We are working on it. We didn't finish until now. And I would like just to finish, to go back to Professor Fundira, really to appreciate what he's doing. Is a very hard job, because I do it in a very small scale in Oyo. It's very difficult. Yorubas are not interested in their cultural heritage. Yorubas are not interested in their tradition. There is need to preserve it. Otherwise, you need to travel to Brazil, to Cuba, to other countries to see your heritage. Please preserve your heritage. Be proud of your heritage. The legacy of Baba Adeyemi III will not die. I will do my best to complete and to continue the legacy he left. Thank you.
Paula, we cannot thank you enough for providing a catalog of all these achievements, the accumulation of